What's going on, guys? Aero here, and welcome back to another video. Now in today's video, I want to talk to you guys about some crazy inside information that we have on Nintendo games that could be coming out this year in 2019, as well as something that could be coming out next year in 2020. Now the reason that I want to talk to you guys about these leaks is because of the person that they're coming from. See, the thing with all leakers and industry insiders is that it's pretty much a hit or miss type of situation. Like, there's leakers out there who get a majority of the stuff that they say correct, and then there's leakers out there who get a lot of the stuff that they say wrong. There's really not any leaker who's gotten a perfect track record. And like, for example, like one of the most credible industry insiders that we have in the Nintendo community, for example, is Emily Rogers. Now if you guys don't know about Emily Rogers, she actually gave us a lot of inside information about the Nintendo Switch back when it was still called the NX, and she gave a lot of information about what the system was going to be like, how it was going to function, and she's gotten a lot of other stuff correct as well. Like last year, she basically knew exactly when Pokémon on the Nintendo Switch was going to be revealed. She said that it was going to be revealed right before the end of May. She's also gotten stuff right about like Smash Bros. She said that there was going to be a Smash Bros game that was going to release in 2018, and she even phrased it by saying it was going to be like the ultimate Smash Bros game, and that's what the name turned out to be. So she's gotten a lot of stuff correct. But at the same time, there's also things that she's gotten wrong. And I think the one thing that I can remember for sure is that if you guys remember that January Nintendo Switch presentation that happened like 2 years ago in 2017, one of the things that she said that was going to be shown off in that presentation was Mother 3 for the Nintendo Switch, and we all know that that didn't happen. And so that was one of the things that she was really confident about, and that didn't turn out to be the case. So of course there's going to be times where even some of the big industry insiders that we have gotten stuff wrong. Now the really insane thing about all the leaks that I want to discuss in this video is that the person that these leaks are coming from has never gotten anything wrong and has a perfect track record. They have gotten every single thing that they've said completely correct, and nothing has been wrong ever. And so hearing all of this stuff from this person makes me very excited, and I really want to talk to you guys about it, but let me give you guys some backstory about who this person is. Now before we get started, I do want to let you guys know that I am giving away an entire year of Nintendo Switch Online, and so if you want to have a chance to win that, then all you gotta do is click the link in the description. I'll also make it the pinned comment of this video as well. There's definitely going to be some great online games coming out this year, so definitely be sure to enter that giveaway if you want to have Nintendo Switch Online. Now the leaker that I'm talking about goes by the name of King Zel, and he pretty much only posts stuff on the forum known as Resetera. I'm going to show you guys two of the big things that he's pointed out in the past that have turned out to be true, so then you guys can get an idea of how much inside information this person could actually have. Now if we take a trip down memory lane and remember at the end of May last year when everybody was freaking out if they were actually going to show Pokemon on the Nintendo Switch, one of the things that was said by King Zel on Resetera was in regards to how the presentation was going to be like. And so if we take a look at the post, he basically said here, "It's not a direct, you guys, it's a media event for 90 minutes and we'll get news after that." And then he even said that the event is going to start at 10 AM Japan time and that the news is going to come after 11:30 Japan time. And this was all perfectly correct because that's exactly how it went. If you guys remember, Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu and Pokemon Let's Go Eevee were not announced in like a Pokemon Direct or anything like that. It was basically a special media event that they got to have in Japan, and the whole entire media event got uploaded to the Pokemon YouTube channel eventually. But basically it was a special event where Mr. Masuda came on and he showed off the games for the first time, and they talked a little bit about the other things that were shown off in there as well. They talked about like Pokemon Quest and stuff like that, but that was basically how the entire reveal turned out to be. And during all this Pokemon hype and news last year, even Emily Rogers implied that the stuff that King Zel has been saying is accurate because she said that King Zel has been on a roll. Now with all that Pokemon hype going on last year, King Zel even said to lower the hype for 2018 and get more excited for 2019. And he basically said that 2019 is going to be more exciting, so he got all of that stuff completely correct because that's exactly how the reveal went. It was a very unusual event that they got to have only in Japan. He basically got that reveal completely correct, and he even knew that there was going to be two Pokemon games, Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu and Let's Go Eevee, which were going to be coming out in 2018, but then he also said to get way more excited because 2019 is going to be very hype. Now if having 100% accuracy on one of the most unusual Pokemon reveals that we've ever had isn't enough for you, there's actually something else that King Zel also said last year in regards to the September Nintendo Direct. Now last year we had a Nintendo Direct on September 13th, and right before that Nintendo Direct one day before on September 12th, King Zel said something on Resetera, and he basically said, "Well, I heard tomorrow may be the day we might finally see some animals, but I'm not sure." And we all know that Animal Crossing was finally revealed for the Nintendo Switch in that Direct. And so two of the craziest announcements King Zel perfectly got correct, as this person has a completely accurate track record, and let me show you guys the crazy things that he's saying about the stuff that's going to be coming out this year as well as next year. Now the first thing that King Zel says is to be ready for some sort of trilogy. Now this trilogy is supposed to be coming out this year, but he didn't specify obviously what the trilogy is, and so if I did have to give my best guess on what I think it is, I think it would make the most sense to have a Metroid Prime trilogy this year. I think so many people want that, myself included. There's so many people that are very excited for Metroid Prime 4, and I know so many people who even comment on my videos saying that they're not really a Metroid fan or they've never been into the Metroid games, but they've seen so many people getting excited for Metroid Prime 4 that they want to try out the other Metroid games, and so they're waiting for a Metroid Prime trilogy to come on the Nintendo Switch. The next thing that he said is to be ready for some sort of 2D game, and then he specified later that the 2D hint is not for Metroid and that it is going to be coming out this year. And so with the 2D game, maybe it could be some sort of 2D Zelda game on the Nintendo Switch, or maybe it could be something with Mario as well, but then at the same time, we also have New Super Mario Bros. U Deluxe, which still is a terrible name, coming out in January, so maybe it might not be with Mario, but something that I feel like would make a ton of sense with 2D in regards to like a 2D game is Super Mario Maker. I really do want Super Mario Maker to come out on the Nintendo Switch, and even if they decide to do like a port of it or a full sequel, I think that would be a really cool 2D game to have, and I know a ton of people want it. The next thing was people were asking King Zell about a Nintendo Direct, and he said that there was going to be one soon, and then he specified that there's going to be one this month, but I feel like we could have all seen this one coming. Like, I think everybody is expecting a Nintendo Direct to happen this month, so that's something that I feel like is a given, but it's also nice to hear that from him. The next thing here makes me very excited, and that's in regards to Breath of the Wild, and he basically said if you liked Breath of the Wild, you are going to like next year. And so I don't know what he means by this. Now obviously he did clarify later that he means next year as in 2020. I don't know why people thought like he might have been like kind of joking and like thinking that it was a 2021 thing, but he was tricking us because 2019 just recently started. Either way, he clarified that it is going to be a 2020 thing that he's talking about, but he said if you enjoyed Breath of the Wild, you're gonna love next year. And so from this hint, I'm not really sure if it's going to be like a brand new Zelda game that he's talking about for next year, or if he's talking about just some sort of big open world Breath of the Wild type of game that's going to be coming out, which will make people excited. Like, there's a lot of ways that that could be interpreted, but I do feel like that there is a chance that we could get a Breath of the Wild Zelda-like game again next year, except it's just going to be sort of like an expansion or like using the same exact engine that was used for Breath of the Wild, kind of like how we got Majora's Mask, but it was still based on Ocarina of Time. And then finally, I saved the big thing for last. This is the thing that gets me the most excited, and it's the thing that he says here, and it says, Pokemon 2019. Somebody asked, like, can you please let me know if there's at least going to be effort from Game Freak in the Pokemon game coming out this year? And he responded by saying, Pokemon 2019 or Generation 8 is going to be Breath of the Wild tier. Now before we go further, I do want to give you guys my thoughts on this because I think that some people are thinking about this the wrong way, and he says here that the Pokemon game coming out this year is going to be Breath of the Wild tier, but I think some people are interpreting this as him saying that the game is going to be like Breath of the Wild, as in like the game is going to be an open world, like extremely long adventure in terms of a Pokemon game, and while I would love that and I would gladly take it, I feel like what he's trying to say is that the Pokemon game coming out this year is going to be comparable to Breath of the Wild, like it's going to be that good. Of course, I would love to be wrong, but I feel like that's what he's trying to say. I don't think he's trying to say that it's going to be like a Breath of the Wild Pokemon, but I think he's trying to say that the game is going to be so good that you're going to be able to put it in like the same league as Breath of the Wild and Super Mario Odyssey. And going a little bit further, there are two more posts here where he says, when the guys at Nintendo talked about it before E3 last year, they were hyping it like it's a Breath of the Wild tier game. They said it's a big step up for the franchise like Breath of the Wild was for Zelda, and that they're taking their time with it to ensure they're giving players something big. And so hearing all of this from King Zell, who's never gotten anything wrong, definitely makes me very excited for the Pokemon games that are coming out this year. Now I tweeted about this on my Twitter as well, so let's take a look at my Twitter and see if we got any responses. I asked you guys how you feel about all these leaks that are coming from King Zell, and so yeah, here is the tweet right here. I said, so King Zell, who has gotten stuff correct in the past, is saying the following: a trilogy is coming, a 2D game is coming, if you enjoy Breath of the Wild, you'll love next year, Gen 8 is Breath of the Wild tier, and reply with your thoughts and you could be featured in my next video. So scroll down here and find some responses. Bulbasaur here is saying, I think that the trilogy is Metroid Prime, the 2D game is Zelda, and we are getting a Majora's Mask Breath of the Wild sequel next year. As for Gen 8, I don't believe that he means it's going to be open world, but instead it's going to be a huge break in tradition to modernize Pokemon. Either way, I'm hyped. Totally agree with you. I'm really glad that you got the part about Pokemon correct. Like, I think some people are just interpreting this as like it's going to be a Breath of the Wild open world Pokemon game, and I don't think that that's what he's trying to say. Dank Memer here is saying that I think it's going to be a Prime trilogy and a 2D Zelda game. I also think that Pokemon could be Breath of the Wild tier, but it needs Pro Controller support. Totally agree with you as well. I think 2D Zelda makes a lot of sense, Prime trilogy makes a ton of sense, and as for Pokemon, it could be Breath of the Wild tier, and Pro Controller support I think is probably going to happen as well. I think that was only for Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu and Let's Go Eevee because they wanted you to use the motion and stuff like that. I think Pro Controller support should probably come with Gen 8. Scroll down a little bit here as well. If Gen 8 is like Breath of the Wild visually, I will cry tears of joy. Me too, I will be crying. It's going to be crazy if that turns out to be true. Let's see, this person's saying is while the trilogy is probably the Metroid Prime trilogy, I'm hoping to God that it is a Pikmin trilogy. That would be really cool as well. I think like a trilogy that nobody sees coming and it's like a Pikmin trilogy, that would be really cool as well. Joe here is saying, I think that he's telling the truth about Pokemon being Breath of the Wild tier. That seems true. Of course, it won't be open world, but I hope it's as revolutionary as Mario Odyssey and Breath of the Wild. That's what I think he's trying to say as well. I think it's just going to be like an insane like change in Pokemon that we're not going to be used to. That's what I think he's trying to say here. So that's going to be really cool. Alright, let's try to get one last comment in here. Ethan is saying here, Pokemon being anywhere close to what Breath of the Wild tier would be awesome. Could be revolutionary in the Pokemon series. That's exactly what I think it's going to be like. I think it's going to be a Pokemon game that's going to have so many changes and it's going to be amazing that I can't even speak of what it's going to be like. I can't wait to see it. So it's going to be ridiculous. And yeah, thank you guys so much for all your responses. I really wish I could read all of these, but like, look at this. I got 99 notifications. I got hundreds of responses here. I really wish I could read all of them, but I don't want to make this video too long. So thank you guys so much for all your responses. And remember, if you ever want to be featured in videos like this, then all you gotta do is follow me on Twitter at @ActualAero. And so there you go, guys. Those are the most credible leaks that we have right now about Nintendo's 2019, as well as the Pokemon game that's going to be coming out this year. If you guys enjoyed this video, then please be sure to click that like button and also comment down below and let me know what you guys think of this. Are you excited for all the stuff that you heard here? Are you not looking forward to something? Definitely be sure to let me know all of your thoughts down below. If you're new to this channel, then please be sure to subscribe. I'm definitely going to have some more Nintendo content in the future, so please be sure to subscribe so you don't miss out on that. Click on that bell to become a part of the notification squad. Go follow me on Twitter at @ActualAero so you can be featured in videos, and also join my Discord server as well. We've got a bunch of people in there who are always talking about Pokemon and Smash Bros, so definitely be sure to join that. And remember to enter my giveaway as well. I am giving away an entire year of Nintendo Switch Online, so definitely be sure to click the link in the description. I'll also make it the pinned comment of this video as well. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Thank you so much for watching.